I used to haul a 50-pound bag of mulch up my driveway without blinking. Last Tuesday, I couldn't lift a gallon of milk into the fridge without my arms shaking, and I sat down and wept. I didn't even see it coming, honestly. One day, I'm the woman who mows her own lawn and carries all the groceries in one trip, and the next day, my own body feels like a stranger's house I'm just visiting. Now, before I go any further, I need you to know something. In a few minutes, I'm going to share a tiny little thing I started doing. It takes maybe 90 seconds, no equipment, no gym clothes, that honestly made me feel like maybe, just maybe, I could start trusting my legs again. I wasn't expecting it. I almost laughed when I first heard about it, but I'll get to that. Here's why I'm talking about this at all. So many of you have written to me saying the same thing. You look in the mirror and you don't recognize the arms looking back. Getting up from a low sofa feels like a negotiation with gravity. And the worst part, the part nobody says out loud, is that little voice whispering, maybe this is just how it ends. Maybe I'm on that one-way slide and there's no getting off. And I need to tell you right here, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physical therapist. I'm just a 62-year-old grandma in the Midwest who got scared enough to start digging into what's actually happening to folks our age. I called researchers, I read papers until my eyes crossed. And what I found actually made me angry, because so much of what we've been told just isn't the full story. So everything I share today is just me passing along what the research suggests and what many folks find helpful. You do what's right for your own precious body, all right? Now let's talk about why this muscle loss is speeding up like never before, and what we can gently do about it. You know, I think about my grandmother sometimes. She never set foot in a gym a day in her life. She didn't count protein grams or take supplements, but she hung laundry on a line every Monday, kneaded bread by hand, walked to the butcher, squatted down in her garden to pull weeds. Her muscles got constant little love notes all day long. Hey there, we're still needed. Stay ready. Our world doesn't work like that anymore. We drive everywhere. We shop from a screen. We have remotes and recliners and delivery apps. And honestly, the whole modern world is designed so beautifully for sitting. Research suggests that our muscles need regular, consistent signals to stay strong. And when we go for long stretches without standing or lifting or just moving, those signals get real quiet. And here's the kicker. After about age 60, the body's natural muscle maintenance system is already slowing down a little, just as part of the deal. When you layer all that comfortable sitting on top of it, the loss can speed up in a way our grandparents never had to deal with. This isn't about being lazy. It's not a character flaw. It's the modern environment working against us, and we didn't get the memo. So what can we do? Many people find that setting a simple timer to stand up and move for just 2 minutes every hour often helps. Not a workout, just waking the muscles up. March in place during commercials. Walk to the mailbox with a little extra swing in your step. Do a few gentle counter push-ups while you're waiting for the coffee to brew. Little nudges all day long that tell your muscles you're not done with them yet. All right, let's lighten things up a little, because I don't know about you, but I can only take so much serious talk before I need a cookie. Let's talk about protein. Now, I used to think protein was for bodybuilders, big fellas in tiny shorts grunting at the gym. But turns out protein is just the building material our bodies use to patch up and rebuild muscle. And here's where it gets a little sneaky. After about age 60, the body becomes a bit less efficient at using that building material. Researchers call it anabolic resistance, which sounds terribly fancy. But all it really means is that the same chicken breasts that work just fine at 40 might not send as loud a rebuild signal at 70. It's like your muscles got a little hard of hearing over the years. Now that sounds like bad news, but the fix is honestly kind of simple. Many studies suggest that spreading your protein more evenly across the day, instead of having almost all of it at supper, like a lot of us do, can help wake those signals up again. A good general target is about 25 to 30 grams at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What's that look like? A couple of eggs and a cup of Greek yogurt in the morning. A palm-sized piece of fish at lunch. Beans or a nice piece of chicken at dinner. It's not a drastic diet. It's just giving your muscles 3 solid reasons a day to keep paying attention. I have to say, the first time I added a real protein to my breakfast, I felt so virtuous, I almost called my daughter to brag. And my husband, bless his heart, now puts a scoop of cottage cheese on his toast and thinks he's an athlete. You gotta laugh. But now I want to talk about something a little closer to my heart, and maybe yours too. I've been thinking about sunshine, not just the warmth of it, but what it actually does inside us. Vitamin D, so many of us grew up hearing it was for strong bones, turns out to be just as important for muscles. It's like a little helper key that unlocks the muscle's ability to work well. Without enough of it, muscles can't contract as powerfully, and that shaky, weak feeling can creep in. As we get older, our skin doesn't make as much vitamin D from sunlight, and we tend to spend less time outdoors with bare arms and legs. It happens so gradually you don't notice. But I think about my mother, who lived her last years mostly indoors, and I wonder if anyone ever checked her levels. I wish I'd known to ask. The good news is, a simple blood test at your next doctor's visit can tell you where you stand. And many people find that a short walk in the midday sun, just 10 or 15 minutes with your face and forearms uncovered a few times a week, often helps. Some folks need a supplement, and that's just a conversation with your doctor. No guessing, no shame, just information. If you're still with me, thank you, truly. And if any of this is hitting close to home, would you do me a favor? Hit that thumbs up down below. It tells YouTube that these conversations matter, that we're here and we're paying attention. I'd be grateful. Now, I'm about to say something I never thought I'd say in a video. Hold on. Let me grab my glasses. I have them on my head. Of course I do. I've been looking for them for 10 minutes. All right. There's a thing happening inside us, quiet as a whisper, that researchers have started calling inflammaging. I know, it's a terrible word, but it paints a picture. It's a low-grade, slow-burning inflammation that tends to rise as the years go by. Not the kind you can see or feel like a swollen ankle, but more like embers in a fireplace that never quite go out. Over time, those embers can break down muscle protein faster than the body can rebuild it. Processed foods, constant stress, poor sleep, and a diet low in colorful plants can all keep that fire smoldering. But here's what fired me up. The same body that's been quietly losing ground can often start calming that fire with some simple, beautiful swaps. This is where we get to be a little feisty. The research suggests that deeply colored fruits and vegetables, berries, leafy greens, beets, sweet potatoes, are like a gentle rain on those embers. Swapping a side of chips for a handful of walnuts, sprinkling flaxseed on your oatmeal, adding one extra serving of vegetables to your plate. Just one. I started roasting a big tray of rainbow veggies on Sunday and picking at them all week, and I swear my body started humming a happier tune. So here's where I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, what's one vegetable you absolutely refused to eat as a kid, but you kind of like now? For me, it was Brussels sprouts. Hated them. Now I roast them with a little olive oil, and I could eat the whole pan. I read every single comment, and I always find the best ideas from you all. Now let's slow things down. Let's get quiet for a minute. There's something I learned that honestly gave me a whole new way of looking at my body. Muscle strength isn't just about the size of the muscle fibers. It's also about the nerve signals that tell those fibers to fire quickly and strongly. Think of it like a radio signal. If the signal is weak and full of static, the muscle doesn't respond sharply, even if the muscle itself is still there. Over time, if we mostly do slow, predictable movements, those nerve connections can get a little fuzzy. And that fuzziness, that brain-to-muscle static, is one reason a step can feel unsteady, or why a quick catch of balance fails when you need it most. But here's the beautiful part. That connection can often be sharpened again, like tuning an old radio, with gentle practice. Research suggests that asking your body to move in slightly different, lightly challenging ways can wake up those pathways. Many people find that simply standing on one leg while lightly holding the kitchen counter, or walking heel to toe down the hall like you're on a tightrope, can start to clear the static. I put a little piece of blue tape on the floor and step over it a few times a day, forward and backward, just reminding my brain and my legs to talk to each other. It's not about being perfect. It's not about getting strong like a 20-year-old. It's about sending a message to your whole system. Those pathways are still alive, still willing, still capable of showing up for you. So here we are. We've sat together, we've talked about what's really going on, and I hope you feel a little less alone and a little more like there's ground under your feet. Your body isn't a traitor. Your struggle isn't a failure. You've just been fighting a quiet battle nobody told you about, with a modern world that stopped asking you to move, with plates that stopped giving your muscles what they needed, with a body that was waiting for someone to tell it, "You're not done yet. You're not done yet." If this spoke to you, hit that thumbs up and tell me in the comments which one hit closest to home for you. I read every single one. And subscribe and hit that bell so we can keep going together. One last thing, just between us. Everything I shared today comes from a place of love and research. But I'm not your doctor. I'm just a neighbor who's figuring this out right alongside you. Always check in with your own trusted health folks before making changes. You're too precious not to. See you soon.